After 2 weeks of Joe Flacco, the Colts are turning back to Anthony Richardson. According to Colts head coach Shane Steichen, Richardson will regain his starting role for their upcoming game versus the Jets. Steichen told reporters on Monday and Tuesday that Flacco was still the starter, despite many wondering if Richardson would return to his post. On Wednesday, fans' questions were answered as Steichen announced that Richardson would get his job back, despite saying over and over again that Flacco was still the starter. He did the same thing with Richardson a few weeks ago, confirming he was the starter, but then changing his mind on Wednesday of that same week. The Colts benched Richardson after their loss to the Texans in favor of veteran Joe Flacco. The Colts then turned to Flacco. In the loss to the Texans, Richardson struggled, only completed 10 of 32 passes for 175 yards, no touchdowns, and 1 interception. But his play wasn't the focus. It was when he took himself out of the game because he reportedly was tired. Richardson was also struggling as he had the league's worst completion percentage at just 44%. When they turned to last year's comeback player of the year, they were hoping for different results from Flacco. But it did not turn out as well, as the Colts lost both games and Flacco threw just 2 touchdowns and 4 interceptions along with 2 fumbles. He also only threw for 451 yards and a 71 passer rating. The Colts lost both games and now find themselves at 4-6, 2 games behind the Texans in the AFC South. They still have a chance to win the division, but since they were swept by the Texans, it will be hard to do so. In the past 2 weeks, the Colts fell to the Bills and Vikings, which prompted management to go back to the Florida product. This season, when Flacco was the starter, the Colts went 1-3. He also came in a few separate times to replace AR, who left because of an injury. Flacco has not had the same type of season he had last year with the Browns. The Super Bowl 47 MVP completed 66% of his passes for 1,167 yards, 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 91.5 QBR, and was sacked 13 times. Richardson, on the other hand, has thrown 4 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 958 yards, 57 passer rating, and a QBR of 37.3. Richardson has been sacked 5 times along with 242 yards on the ground and 1 score. When it was announced that AR would return to being the starter, Richardson was excited and said that he learned a lot during his time on the sidelines as well as getting better. He said this, "I think these 2 weeks have definitively opened my eyes and allowed me to take a deeper dive and look into myself and see what I'm made of. So I'm thankful for these past 2 weeks, and I'm low-key thankful that it happened." Steichen also announced that going forward, Richardson was the starter for the remainder of the year. The Colts play the Jets next and need to win this game in order to stay alive in the AFC playoff picture. They still have a shot at making the playoffs as a wild card and division winner. They are just 2 games behind the Texans for the AFC South and just 1 game behind the Broncos for the final wildcard spot. Let me know in the comments what you think of the news and if you believe Richardson is ready. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, follow, and like the vid.